Speaking of opinion, my friend Rafi Di Makulangan is watching right now. He asked, there are certain rumors that a fellow candidate of yours in Miss Universe 2016 did not make it to top 13 due to her attitude. So during that time, how was your relationship with her? We're curious to ask.
Yeah, I didn't really have a relationship with her, I guess. I don't even know if we ever really exchanged many words, but I think I've talked about this in some of my videos, and it wasn't a mystery that there wasn't 100%, respect from her to other people, whether it's contestants, volunteers, chaperones. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't really feel like it's my place, but it wasn't really a mystery. So that's where I didn't really feel bad saying anything about it. And then, of course, I did feel, personally attacked a little bit because I don't know if some people saw, but there was a couple of lives, or there was one live for sure, that after the pageant, there were a few contestants that were saying things like, let's just eat everything to get fat so we could place like Miss Universe Canada or Miss Canada. And so I just felt really like, these are fellow contestants who, if I wouldn't have placed and if they would have placed, I would have been standing on that stage clapping for them and cheering them on because they were, the class of 2016. We should be in this together. And that was really disheartening and sad for me to see because I felt like I would have been supportive. So yeah, overall, it is sad to see when there are women who are not supportive. And I believe there were some interviews after that she said she should have placed and not me because of our body differences. And I just want people all to know that your body is not going to be the reason you place or don't place. Like, even if I wasn't there at Miss Universe 2016, like if Canada wasn't there, if I wasn't there, it doesn't mean that she would have placed. Like there could have been, like she could have been way down the rank. We have no idea, right? Because your body isn't the ultimate placer situation. So yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like she thought that I placed and then that took the place away from her, but there were so many other women that probably could have placed as well. So I don't really know kind of what that, yeah.
But I'm curious, during the course of the competition, have the chance to really bond or get to interact during activities.
Not really. And if for those who maybe don't know, when there's an international pageant happening, a lot of the girls, say from Latin America, from Asia, North America, Europe, they all tend to group together. So a lot of times you'll see like the European girls together, the Asian girls together. And so yeah, we didn't really have like a lot of bonding time per se.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get that because Latinas would always usually be flock to one another because of the language, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, it's unfortunate.
yeah, you do see girls from like obviously all around the world meeting, taking pictures together. It just tends to be certain groups. And so yeah, we just never like had bonding time or anything like that. So yeah.
But you know what? To be fair with you, I've been I've been told by a lot of stories, nasty stories about her during the entire competition. Of course, I wouldn't say it right now because for fear of being bashed by by the Latinos. But I've heard stories about her, and these were the people who worked with you guys during the
Right.
entire competition.
Right.
I could really say those particular instances, but also out of respect for her, I would gladly not do.
For
So I would like to ask, now that you've made a recollection about it, in retrospect, do you think her unplacement kind of makes sense now? Or have you had a realization or epiphany moment that she wouldn't make it because of this?
I think 100% your attitude behind the scenes, how you treat people, 100% impacts whether you place or not at a pageant. So I was not surprised at all. No.
Oh, so you mean to say during the competition, you already were hearing rumors about her attitude?
Not even just hearing rumors, just like seeing it myself. So
Oh,
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
what I think. I think I know what instance were you talking. You are talking about right now, but I really wouldn't want to
Yeah,
disclose
like
it right now.
there were just so many things and like it wasn't just me, like other people could speak to this too, but I just want people to know that like behind the scenes, it matters so much. So I've said this in a video before, but if you had the perfect body, if you gave the perfect answers, if you had an amazing resume, you're very photogenic, if you treat people with disrespect, you will not place. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
No. Yeah. Yeah, enough of negativity. Yeah,
for sure.
let's leave all the negativity behind. Let's focus on the positive. We know you revealed that Miss Japan was your roommate during the competition, but who were your other closest friends?
Miss Cayman Islands and I got along super well. I loved her. Miss Denmark and I, we really connected as well. And honestly, I would say Miss USA was probably one of my other favorites. Like we just had some really amazing conversations. Miss Curacao, honestly, so many of the girls I feel like in our grouping, I guess every year could probably say this, but we all seem to get along super well overall.
Do you still get in touch with them even up until now?
Absolutely. Actually, Miss Malaysia actually lives in Halifax, where I live. So her and I are gonna have to reconnect. I'm almost done the quarantine. For those who don't
Kiran?
know, oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, Kiran, Jasal.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yes,
nice.
yeah. So you know what's so crazy is she made a post on Instagram something about being in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And for those who don't know, Halifax is on the east coast of Canada. That's where my husband went to school for dentistry, and she is in dentistry. Like she's in the same school that he. Like how crazy is that? Miss like what? So
Small world.
I know her and I haven't seen each other yet, but because we moved away when she moved here, basically. So yeah, her and I will have to get together and have a mini Miss Universe 2016 celebration.
You still maintain your WhatsApp group. You guys still have that WhatsApp group that you guys had during Miss Universe or even before that.
Yeah, and
Where
you know
you
what? And some of us still like. I mean, we comment on each other's Instagrams, we talk on Instagram, and all that kind of stuff. And so I think one beautiful thing with the pageant world is you really bond with people and you create this like lifelong sisterhood, if you will, that you're always supporting each other, cheering each other on, and that's just so amazing.
Yeah. Oh, before we proceed, I would like to give a shout out as well to Mr. Bessie Besana. Hi, Sir Bessie. Thank you for watching. Sierra, Bessie Besana is one of the fashion designers that Pia had during her reign, and he also has he also does interviews with a lot of beauty queens, similar to what I've been doing. Their group is called Ashty Nights, and he's tuned in right now. Can you please say hello to him? And he has a question for you. Um,
Hi.
Bessie Besana and Mox Gonzalez. Oh, actually, sorry, Bessie. Bessie is part of the organizing team, the local organizing team of Miss Universe 2016 here in Manila. He is curious to ask to know which activity functioned during your stay here in Manila you truly enjoyed. And what is your most memorable experience in your journey of Miss Universe in the Philippines?
Oh my gosh. That is such a challenging question in the sense of Miss Universe 2016. We had probably one of the best experiences that Miss Universe contestants could have. But I will say, when we went to Cebu, I forget how long it would have been the drive. Like we were driving to our destination, and from the airport to like the hotel place that we were going, all along the streets for miles and miles and miles were people wearing sashes, crowns, gowns. They had all these different signs, like cheering, screaming. Like it was unbelievable. I could not believe that there was that much support. So in Cebu, that was amazing. And then I forget what the region is called. It's the mountainous region.
Mm-hmm.
There was a parade. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
All
I
I know, all I knew was the swimsuit press presentation that you guys had in Cebu. But other the auxiliary trips, I can no longer remember.
I can't
Yeah.
remember. I don't want to say it wrong, but it was. it was higher up there. It was like mountainous. It was a little bit cooler for the Philippines, and we had this parade, and it was unbelievable, like the support of the people. So overall, I'd say my most memorable experience was that feeling of support and encouragement from the Filipino people, and just that sense that we were all welcomed. Like there wasn't just everyone cheering for Miss Philippines Maxine Medina. They were cheering for everybody. They loved all of us, which was just so incredible.
Nice. That no wonder you kept coming back here a few more
Totally, I
times,
know.
right? Yeah.
People ask me, why do you always talk about the Philippines? And I'm like, of all countries around the world, the Philippines has embraced me the most.
I feel like now that you're saying that, I feel like, next to Sushushmita Sen and Dayanara Torres, you're the next most revered
Oh,
foreigner queen.
that's
Because
so amazing.
because I feel like, assuming we get to host Miss Universe, let's say 20 years from now, God knows how old we would
Yeah, I
be
know.
by that time.
Probably
Yeah,
like a grandma.
yeah. So you'll be invited as a judge if ever, right? So yeah. So how do you feel that you are getting so much attention? You're getting so much love from all of us here in the Philippines.
It's so nice. It's so nice. And maybe part of it too, there's quite a large Filipino community in Canada. Everywhere in Canada that I've been, there's Filipino people. And so I don't like, maybe there's a connection, do you think, between the Philippines and Canada?
Uh, no, I think it's because of how you trailblazed or
Oh,
became an advocate for something that is
yeah.
so unique and new, which we've
Oh,
never seen before in Miss Universe.
okay.
And
Well,
you owned it like
hmm,
deep skin, like you
right.
owned it, like you were so unapologetic about it, and thought what made you so lovable to a lot of Filipinos because you were so real. That's just my opinion.
Okay. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. So a lot of they've been complimenting you, Jess Valentina, saying you're so good in interviews. Tell us about your preliminary interview experience in Miss Universe 2016.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My interview experience at Miss Universe, it really felt like other interviews I've done in the sense of me just sharing who I am, why I'm there. Of course, it was super nerve wracking because this is Miss Universe. There's a bell. It's very strict and specific. You're standing there at a mic, they're looking at you, and there's two girls in the room at a time, at least in my experience. So two girls go in, they stand at the mic talking to the judges for I think it's 3 minutes. Your time is up, you switch, you go to the other mic, the other panel of judges, you speak, and you're done. Like 6 minutes, that's it. And in the room, there's cameras. Paula Shugart, the president of Miss Universe, is there. There's so much pressure, and it's very exciting, but it's definitely intimidating. But overall, I think I had a good interview. I hope I had a good interview because, of course, I ended up placing. So,
Oh, what
some
happened, Lily?
somebody's
Okay.
here.
Oh, she
Somebody.
is making an appearance. Hi, Lily. Hi. Close
Please.
open. Close open.
Yeah.
Hi, Lily. She doesn't like me. I mean, she doesn't look at me. She look at me. Oh, she's crying. Oh, she's about to cry. Hi, Lily.
Can you do a dance?
Lily. Oh, I love her. I love her. Oh God,
Very
she's gonna be the next. Hi, Brennan. Hi, Sir Brennan.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good here in Manila. I hope you guys are all doing well there in Halifax right now. Right. Oh, Lily. She's gonna be the next big thing 20
Oh,
years from now. We can't wait for her to grow up and turn to become one fine lady
oh,
and tell
she's so
you, I want to join pageants too, mom.
yeah,
but
totally.
going
Yeah, if she wants.
but going but going back to the preliminary interview, so what? Of course, I would assume you would definitely breeze through it, considering that you've been doing a lot of pageants before. So at least you coming to the room, I would assume you were already so confident. You knew what to do. You knew what how to control your nerves.
I'd say overall, yes. I was definitely nervous because I think it's so hard to not be nervous. But I think up to that point, I was very confident in who I was, why I was there. And to be honest, the experience leading up to the interview, like all of the people, cyberbullying me and all that stuff, that took so much for me to like get through that in terms of like mentally keep going, that once I got to the interview I almost felt like, you know what, this is more exciting than nerve-wracking. And like I was talking about earlier, from competing at say Miss Universe Canada 2013, where I wasn't really sure, who I was, what I was doing, I wasn't in law school yet. Fast forward to Miss Universe Canada 2016, Miss Universe 2016, I had already completed some of law school. I had more of an assurance of who I was. So it was definitely, I was confident going into the interview just because I felt like I had more life experience. I had things to share with the judges. I was able to share with them, if I were to win Miss Universe, this is what I would do with the title. This is who I believe I could be as Miss Universe and why it would be impactful. So I really felt like, yeah, I was confident going in because I knew a lot of, yeah, myself and who I was, what I was bringing to the organization.
Now that you mentioned about it, that they see the organization seems like they have a preference for girls who are already assured of themselves, who have already gone through a lot of life's experiences. Do you think they are really catering to that kind of girls right now? Because because right now we are seeing pageant organizations increasing their age limit, and the age limit of the age bracket of the winners being crowned in Miss Universe lately are getting older and older. So uh, do you think would you advise girls to be really to go through a lot of life experiences to really mature as a woman, as a person, before competing in pageants like Miss Universe?
Yes, that would be, if I were to give advice in terms of having, more experience or not, I would say for sure life experience is always going to be on your side. The more life experiences that you have, the more that you're going to be able to bring to the table, the more that you're going to know about yourself, what you like, what you don't like, who you are, who you want to be. So I would say life experience is always going to be on your side. And in terms of them increasing the age limit, I think that's amazing because sometimes a woman who's maybe 23, for example, I was 23 when I competed, but maybe at 23 years old, a woman isn't quite there in terms of who she wants to be as like a career woman, what she wants, and maybe she wouldn't have the confidence quite yet to compete at something like Miss Universe. But at 26, 27, maybe she's finally more sure of herself and wants to go for that title. So even if it doesn't mean winning Miss Universe, but having that opportunity, I think it's amazing that they're increasing the age limit because as women, I think we get more confident with age. And so why not, open that up for like a couple more years to give more women an opportunity.
So do you think there will come a day where Miss Universe will kind of adjust the age limit to 30 years old, 31 years old, as long as she remains unmarried, in
Yeah,
your opinion?
I don't know. I think I could maybe see it going to like 30. I don't really know um, what it would be. And I think typically we see women who like 30 plus on average would, be more wanting to get married, have kids. Of course, everyone's different. That isn't the case for everybody. But I think that women enter a different probably part of their life by around 30, typically, not always. But yeah, maybe they'll increase it. I don't know.
There's an interesting question here. I would really love to get back to you about that question, but there's an interesting question here from Ronald Dennis Reyes. He asked, given the challenges you were facing in Miss Universe 2016, were you surprised you entered top 10 after the swimsuit competition, knowing that you've been getting a lot of backlash about it?
I wasn't as surprised as you might think I would be because I knew that the Miss Universe organization seemed to be embracing me. And, I had talked with Paula Shugart because she asked me, sorry, her and some other people of the Miss Universe organization, like they were kind enough to talk to me personally and ask me how I was handling everything, if I was okay, because they saw online everything that was happening. And so I think that I felt supported by the organization, and I knew that they didn't think that, I was totally out to lunch in terms of being there at Miss Universe. And so I was obviously very honored and excited to enter the top 9, but I don't think I was surprised in the sense of I knew that the trolls online weren't the judges, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So look, listening to everything that you are saying right now, it seems like the Miss Universe organization was able to look at your way you were able to reach the semifinals. So do you think? Because I know Miss USA, what's her name, Deshauna Barber also revealed that nowadays in Miss Universe, the preliminary interview portion really counts a huge chunk of your score leading to the finals.
Absolutely.
So, are you saying that no matter how you look good and fit in swimsuit and ravishing and elegant in evening gown, if you don't know how to speak, if you flunk your prelim interviews closed door, you wouldn't get it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally. And we've seen that though, right? We've seen women who I've had girls on my prediction list who I see them in short interviews and I'm like, "Oh wow, she seems like she speaks well. She has an amazing evening gown, an amazing body, whatever that means. Her gown is exquisite. She's confident, but she doesn't place. We see there's always at least a few, and I always think there's either two things that have happened. One, the interview didn't go very well, or two, her attitude behind the scenes wasn't so great. There can be other factors as well, but that's typically the most common reasons.
So it's all about attitude nowadays, possessing that good moral character in the competition.
And I think that's so important because think about it. Would we want to see a Miss Universe who is disrespectful to people, who doesn't treat fans with respect, who's super full of herself? No, we want to see people like Catriona Gray, Pia Wurtzbach, Zoe Bini-Tunzi, Demi Leete, but we want to see people who seem kind, who seem to treat everyone with respect, and who seem to be looked highly upon by the organizations.
So do you think everything that you're saying right now, on hindsight, do you think your candidacy, because your mantra going to Miss Universe, like I will take charge of my own candidacy, I will do whatever I want to do because this is my own body, this is what I want to do, because this is me. Do you think do you think your candidacy came in such a perfect time, especially that IMG took over?
For sure, I for sure think that. And to be honest, if it was the Trump era of Miss Universe, like I probably wouldn't have placed. And that's the reality. And that I'm totally fine with that. And that's just how it is.
So yeah. I mean it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. When I competed in 2013, that was still under the ownership of Trump. And then I think that part of me knew after Pia Wurtzbach winning Miss Universe and knowing that IMG seemed to be embracing more of who the women are, if that makes sense. I think that also gave me comfort competing at Miss Universe Canada 2016, knowing that physical beauty, body, that's not what this is solely about, which gave me more confidence going to Miss Universe Canada, going to Miss Universe, because I felt like I could see the change happening. That I always believed that pageants were an amazing opportunity for women, an amazing platform. But of course, traditionally it was more about the physical beauty. But I felt like the opportunities that I had when I competed in teen pageants, I saw the opportunity. And so I did see it shifting with IMG. So, yeah.
Yes, I completely agree. Because after you, all your successors in Miss Universe Canada placed. Do you think the Miss Universe Canada organization kind of knew what they were seeing in you, and so that they kind of replicated it in your successors? Because Lauren also placed, Martha also placed. So do you think you were kind of a trailblazer for Miss Universe Canada, for them to look out for the next type of winner that they'll be crowning?
I don't know because so Lauren, for example, she like her and I had talked quite a bit actually, like before I even went to Miss Universe. So when I was Miss Universe Canada before I went to Miss Universe, and I would share with her some of like the trials and tribulations that I was experiencing. And she as well had competed at Miss Universe Canada previously. I think it was 2014 maybe, and she didn't win, but she placed top five. And so I think that maybe her seeing me using the platform and everything, perhaps that was like a, me trailblazing it, her winning. And then Marta as well, she placed as first runner up to Lauren actually at Miss Universe Canada 2017. She won in 2018. So I don't really know. I don't think it was the Miss Universe Canada organization. I think it was more the women who were competing. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was me or I don't know what it was.
But how does the Miss Universe Canada organization choose its winners? Is it like Binibining Pilipinas? Is it like a month-long event as
No,
well?
it's 1 week.
1 week only.
Yeah.
Everything cramped in 1 week. Like, oh, okay. So there's not so much pre-pageant activity. So immediately you all buckle down to. So basically, it's like the 2019 edition,
Yeah.
condensed 10 days edition.
Yeah. Totally.
So lean and mean activity. So even in just a matter of days, the prelims will definitely be happening. Ooh. But yeah, I Miss Canada. But I was so surprised that Alisa wasn't able to make it last
I
year.
know.
I
Yeah.
thought she would get in because she had an amazing national costume. She has an interesting advocacy. She is so well spoken. I thought she would be able to at least maintain the winning streak. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that was too bad. Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I really love her. So, yeah. So, what can you say? This is my question to you. What could you also advise the next Miss Universe Canada about pageant prep for Miss Universe or any girl from any country who are so strong on paper or
Mm.
have huge potential to win, but is hampered by lack of machinery, which normally Thailand and Philippines have.
Yeah. My advice for anyone competing, whether it's Miss Universe Canada or any pageant around the world, is think of every single thing you can in terms of your wardrobe, your gowns, what you're bringing to the table, because there's certain things that I wish I would have done differently at Miss Universe in terms of, my everyday wardrobe, my gowns, etc. And know that ultimately how you present yourself is a reflection of you. Even if your organization wants you to wear something, people are going to see it on you and they're going to put that on you. For example, my gowns, everyone will ask me, why didn't you choose something different? Why didn't you take control of that? Whereas we know behind the scenes it's a little bit different and you're scared because you don't want the organization to send someone else to Miss Universe if you don't listen to them. But ultimately, you have to do what you're comfortable with, how you want to present yourself to the world, because it's ultimately going to reflect on you.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned about it, because there are so many fans comment still asking you about your gown, and now that you've been mentioning that you weren't given much freedom to choose the wardrobe that you wanna wear during Miss Universe, so there's this particular photo that I kind of stumbled on my Instagram account. Was the one that I had a photo with you during the after party. So this is it. So on hindsight, I think look at this gown. I think this is a Filipino designer gown. Very very familiar, intricate design. I think I know which designer made this account. Made this gown. So yeah, so I was wondering, had you worn? Because I was wondering even until now, like, how come this Shera did not wear this instead during the evening gown competition?
I think
So,
that gown was given to me. Like I didn't get to keep it, but I borrowed it. I'm pretty sure it was like before the after party. Like I don't even think that I had it on me, like in my wardrobe at the hotel before the final night. So I think that it was like, here, this is something that you can wear to the after party.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, 'cause-
yeah. Oh yeah, somebody asked, I think if they know the designer. But yeah, with my gown, I did actually I have to finish editing it. I've started editing it. I did an interview chat like we're doing right now with Rian Fernandez.
Rian, yeah, I
Yes,
saw
he
that.
did my
Yeah.
gown. And a lot of people, like, I have nothing against Rian. I love him. I love his designs. He actually did my wedding dress, for those who maybe don't know, which was more along the lines of that picture you just showed. Sparkly, a little bit more, you know, sexy, showing like more leg, like that kind of thing, highlighting my body in a different way. And so it's nothing against his design. And what he has said and what him and I have said together is the design that he had for me, he didn't know my body type at the time. He just knew that this dress, he didn't even know, I don't think it was for like Miss Canada. He just got asked for a gown. He sent it. It arrived to me in a suitcase from my director. I took it out, I put it on. That was it. We didn't even have the opportunity to meet each other. I didn't even know he was the designer. I didn't get to talk to him. He didn't get to alter the gown, nothing. So that's why it wasn't fitted for me properly. It wasn't even a design that suited my body. So there's so much, like if I could have been in contact with Rian directly, he said, you know, I'd put you in a different gown. We would have like done this and that. And so I always want people to know it's nothing against him and his design. It's that him and I didn't get to work together to find something that was better for me, my body type, that would highlight me as well as highlight him as a designer.
So he made your gown without asking the organization what your measurements were, or the other way around. Your organization did not give Mr. Rian your measurements, so that's why when it arrived here in the Philippines, it was so ill-fitting.
Rian didn't know. So the organization asked him for a gown and he sent it not really knowing my measurements or anything, but it wasn't on him. It's that they didn't tell him.
Oh, so but when you were here in Manila, there was no time for you to fit the gown upon arrival, so that at least you could have already have it altered just in the nick of time.
You know, there wasn't a lot of time. Miss Universe in the Philippines, it was so crazy. We sometimes slept for like 45 minutes because there were so many activities, but there could have been time. It's just that my director, for whatever reason, didn't allow it to happen. So it would have been easier and better if my director would have connected me with Rian and him and I could have chatted on WhatsApp, Instagram Messenger, whatever, and been like, let's meet in the lobby, you know, fit this gown, whatever it is, like however we can make it work. But my director didn't even let me know who the designer was or anything like that.
Now that you're sharing about it, could you, so what can you say, what can you advise to a lot of girls who will probably find themselves in that kind of similar position, that they don't know what to do when it comes to prepping themselves? Like I would be blunt about this. Like let's make Miss Universe 2019, last year's Miss Universe, a reference. There were so many gorgeous girls. Like okay, I won't be. I'll give names now, like Albania, India, Brazil, who were all so gorgeous, but I
I
feel like did not advance further because
I
of
know.
styling choices. So now that you are mentioning about this, and there are a lot of girls who will be finding themselves in the same predicament, how can they? Do you think can they remedy this situation where they wouldn't be able to they wouldn't have the freedom to choose the wardrobe that they would like to wear?
I know exactly what you're saying. And some of those women, like Miss Brazil last year, she was one of my personal favorites. I loved her. But look at her at when she won Miss Brazil versus at prelims. At Miss Brazil, she had her hair straight, white gown,
Yes.
amazing. Prelims at Miss Universe, she wore like a bubblegum pink gown, curled hair. She obviously still looked amazing, but I was like, oh my God, she could have won Miss Universe with the look she had at Miss Brazil. Like, why did she change it? And the only thing that we can assume is that, you know, she probably was more independent at Miss Brazil and then she was impacted by her organization. Perhaps, we don't know. And then Miss South Africa, Zozibini came out, absolutely stole the show in that white gown that she wore at prelims. And it was like, okay, done deal. Like, is going to be the next Miss Universe. And I think my advice to women is always ultimately make the decision for yourself if you can. Sometimes you never know what happens behind the scenes, but if you don't feel 100% confident, amazing, you don't feel like you could win the title wearing what you're wearing, looking how you're looking, change it, because you're always going to go back and regret not, you know, making a decision for yourself. in my case, I wish I would have put out on my Instagram, on Facebook, I'm looking for a gown. Can somebody help me? And the reason I didn't is because I didn't know I could. I didn't know that that was allowed. And it 100%, I'm sure people would have come to me, saying like, here's this design, or they would have connected me directly with, say, Rian. Rian might have messaged me and said, oh, I sent you a gown. Like, did it not work? And then him and I could have connected, fitted it better, or he could have provided me with a different gown. I just didn't know that I could reach out on my social media and say, this is what I need, who can help me?
So basically, your advice is for all those aspiring beauty queens out there, they have to advertise themselves online that they are basically needing help. I think your fellow batchmate in Miss Universe also did this, Sierra Leone. That's why all the gowns that her wardrobe that she wore during Miss Universe were all Filipino made.
Okay.
Yeah, if I remember. Yeah,
Probably.
Sierra Leone. Yeah, so basically advertise themselves, like seek help on social media
And just
and
advocate for yourself.
and tag a lot of Filipino pageant admins so that will repost it. Hi Lily. You know what, Sierra, we've been talking for an hour already. So let's I'll try to finish this in let's say 10 to 15 minutes. So yeah, so there are a lot of questions coming in. So how do you feel? There's a question here. How do you think that a lot of pageant fans are complaining that the glam factor in Miss Universe has been significantly reduced in favor of more interview portions during the finals night? As a contestant who competed in that kind of pageant system, in this pageant system, do you think pageant fans make a valid observation?
Yes, I think that they should always still have the swimsuit competition, the gown competition, because that is so much fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of as well. As a competitor, I loved being in the swimsuit competition. I thought it was just so much fun. It added more of like a easygoing kind of attitude about. So it's okay. I think. Oh, you want to say hi? Come on. Do you want to say hi? So I think that they should keep those things. Look at
Hi Lily.
you, Grumpy.
You're
Yeah.
yes. Hi. Hi Lily.
Yeah.
Puppy. Am I a puppy?
But I would love to see the glam remain in all the pageants, but mainly Miss Universe. It's okay.
Lily, it's okay, Lily.
We're almost done. It's okay. Okay,
Yeah.
but yes, I would love to see the glam still remain. Although I think it's always been important for the interview to be a part of it. It's just that we didn't see that. It just happens behind the scenes. And I think it's great that they're showing more of the girls like speaking and all of that kind of thing. But yeah, I definitely would love to still see the glam parts remain because that's what makes it so fun to watch.
Because they're saying that the interview portions are already being overdone. Like the moment they get called out, they already are being interviewed. Then there's the speech component portion afterwards, right? So and then to top 5, there's gonna be another one again. Then top 3, and then there's also another one, which is the final statement or the final word. So a lot of fans are saying, can't they just, if they really want to emphasize the girls' communication skills, why can't they just do it back then when they were doing it, back how they were doing it during the 90s? Like,
Yeah.
Do you kind of agree with that? Or do you have a different take on how it should be done?
I think I would have to rewatch Miss Universe 2019 to give a better opinion. When we were watching Miss Universe 2019, I don't think I felt like, oh, there's too much talking. But maybe because I was there live and it was different to see it live versus seeing it televised. And of course, the stage at Miss Universe 2019 wasn't like the best stage either, so that didn't help. So I don't really know. Yeah, I think I enjoyed how it was structured, but again, I was there live. I got to be part of like the excitement, the energy. So I didn't really feel like there was too much interview, but I would have to rewatch it online to give like a better opinion.
Okay. So, we all know you're so very knowledgeable on each country's representatives right now come Miss Universe season because because all your topics seems always on point. So I was just wondering, when you were competing back in 2016, did you do the same level of research to assess your competitors? Like, do
No,
you advise women who are about to compete to keep tabs on everyone?
surprisingly not. I didn't know as much about the contestants because, I was a contestant myself, and I think as a competitor, it's better to be more naive or like ignorant to your competition because ultimately you can only control yourself. So from a pageant fan perspective, it's interesting to know about the girls, predict who you think is going to win. But as a competitor, you can only control how you act, how you present to the world, and you can't control anybody else. And so I think one of the mistakes women make actually is constantly comparing themselves to others, constantly thinking they need to be better than the next girl, when ultimately you have to be your best self and show the judges who you are, because you can't control what the judges think of you. You can't control what the judges think of other girls. You can only control yourself.
Yeah, I agree. You can only control a certain situation, but other than that, you wouldn't know what's gonna be
Right.
happening, right? So speaking of